Welcome back to another
that
episode.
was such a lilt in your voice. Welcome back to
another episode.
Butts.
You know, I'm gonna show one of these episodes to my mom, and I still haven't been able to because we curse. Well, cursing's fine, but we say dumb crap and everything. In every episode, we said something stupid.
Yeah, it's never gonna stop. Let's be honest. That's just how we do it here.
Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Steep's Talk.
That you were just gonna say, welcome back to another episode, and just, leave it.
No. Why are you analyzing everything I'm doing?
I don't know. It's just that kind of day today.
Your weekly 40 minutes of nerd talk.
You had to think of what you were gonna say.
In retrospect, if I was gonna make a quotate, like a catchphrase, I should have come up with it.
It wouldn't be that. Yeah.
I was gonna say I should have come up with it before I started recording.
And trying to do it on the fly. It's
whatever it is.
You know, that show where you listen to those words.
From those people.
Yes.
Anyways, welcome back, guys.
Say it one more time.
Welcome back, guys. It's been a bit of a rough week. I haven't been able to record much, so we apologize for missing a few weeks of episodes. So, Sarah, what have you been up to? How's life been?
Oh my god, don't even talk about my life right now. It's stress. That's what it is. What about yours?
Not bad. I've actually started doing some work. I'm actually starting to move forward on this webcomic that I've been kind of putting off.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually starting to develop the characters, and I'm actually really excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Shall we get into today's topic?
Yeah, Final Fantasy. I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
I
don't know shit about Final Fantasy.
Man, I gotta say, Final Fantasy is easily my favorite.
You gotta throw that
favorite game of 2016.
Even though we're not talking about Final Fantasy today.
This is the intro
also,
talk.
Also, it's 2017, so...
I know, that's why I'm saying of 2016, that's when it came out.
Okay.
Right? It's easily my favorite game of 2016.
But not 2017.
Well, we'll see. There's new games coming out, so I don't know yet.
It's too early to
Maybe
tell.
right now, but this is the intro talk. We're allowed to chat about whatever in the beginning. We're just catching up. We're letting our audience know what we've been up to and shit. You know?
And shit.
Yeah. If you guys want to tell us how's your week been, tweet at us at Steeped Talk.
You almost said Steep Play out of habit.
It's so confusing.
I don't blame you.
At Steep Talks or Twitter, if you guys ever want to just tell us how we're doing, want to hear something in particular, or just want to give us advice.
Yeah, if there's any topics you want us to touch on.
Yeah, we'll gladly...
Touch us through Twitter. That look you're giving me right now
we'll
says
gladly,
it all. We'll gladly touch you.
Can you fucking... We'll gladly include any topics you guys have. Just, feel free to send us questions, or hell, if you want to tell us how you've been, how you're doing this week, just, send us a tweet. We'd like to hear from you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'd love to laugh at you. No, I'm just kidding. What?
Nothing. I just like going quiet. It's really funny.
Fair enough.
Anyways.
It's not funny when you explain it.
Listen here.
I'm listening. Are you?
Why did that sound so catchphrasy? I'm listening. Are you?
That's what it was.
Anyway, so there's been a lot of hullabaloo about Legend of Zelda, specifically Breath of the Wind.
You said it wrong.
Fuck,
again.
Breath of the Wild. Lots of new content. A lot of people have...
Can you stop fiddling with those, please? They're going to come unraveled.
It helps me feel good.
Unravel. It helps you feel good. Okay, this just sounds really dirty and out of context.
No,
Can you please stop?
If anything, it sounds sad.
This is an expensive blanket, so let's not fuck around with it. Let's not fuck the blanket.
Okay, you need to... Anyways, like I said, there's been a lot of hullabaloo around that game. A lot of gameplay's been released. A lot of great things. It looks fucking amazing. I know it's being released for Wii U and Nintendo Switch.
I mean, Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword also looked amazing.
Yeah, they were great. I love those games.
Skyward Sword is not a great
game. I haven't played Skyward Sword, but Twilight Princess...
Okay, hold on. We're going to get into that, but we're going to start from the beginning.
Are we going backwards in time?
No,
chronologically?
We're starting from, the first Zelda games that we played personally, at least, because
I
don't want to talk on Zelda games that I haven't touched. That wouldn't be fair. What is the first Zelda game you played?
The very first one I've ever played was the Minish Cap.
Oh, really? You came in really late.
Yeah, I actually came in backwards, because, I played the Minish Cap.
You came backwards.
Shut up. What does that even mean?
I don't know. What does it mean?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the one who's, repeating things that I say.
You're the one that said it. I was trying to understand you.
I went back and played the games on N64 with my friends, but not technically. I played Minish Cap first.
Okay.
I adored it. I think it was. I still to this day think it's one of my favorite Game Boy Advance games.
I watched my brother play Link's Awakening. That was probably the first one that I ever witnessed or played, and then I played a lot of Oracle of Seasons and a little bit of Oracle of Ages, and those games are really good. Like, they're still worth playing today, and they're really cheap on the 3DS Virtual Console, like a couple bucks. So if you want to play something Zelda and you're looking for, or you're just looking for a new game, pick those up.
So at what point would you say like which game that like the whole, I wouldn't say theme, but the system of Zelda changed
Probably around Ocarina of Time.
when they went into 3D?
Yeah.
How do you figure?
I don't know. It was kind of revolutionary, changing Zelda from a top-down dungeon crawler to a 3D exploration. Like, it's still a dungeon crawler, but it definitely changed the tone of the games altogether.
It definitely, obviously there was more exploration, but it definitely did feel more story based.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the games beforehand were still story based.
But
like the very original ones weren't they all
it was
like
more simple, I would say.
yeah, weren't the very original games all like just throw you into the world and you just explore yourself and there's like no story.
There's some talking. There is story established. I wouldn't say there's none. I'd say it's harder to figure out where you need to go in those games because you're not really held by the hand. It's a lot of like exploring until you find an answer. Versus like in Ocarina and Forward, I feel like they kind of tell you a little bit more what you kind of need to do.
Yeah.
As long as you talk to the right people, that is, like, depends. So.
Okay, that's fair.
I guess you haven't really played the older games, so can't really touch on them too much, but...
I mean, like you said, the schematics of the game become pretty similar after that point.
And even, like, the ones that were on DS, 3DS, and whatever
Phantom
after
Hourglass.
that were a lot like Ocarina.
Really?
More the schematic of Ocarina than the old top-downs.
Oh, well, of course.
That's what I mean.
Okay, I thought you meant that, yeah, no. I loved Phantom Hourglass.
There's a huge difference between the... Well, not huge, but there is a difference between the Toon Link games and, like, the regular games, if you want to call them that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people seem to say they either like Ocarina or Majora more, and no one ever says they like them equally. But I think that honestly just boils down to which game you played first or more when you were a kid.
Because what it comes down to is just a personal experience, right?
Yeah, I liked Ocarina more, but I also found it less difficult than Majora's Mask. Like, Majora's Mask was really challenging for how old I was.
I've heard that from everyone. Like,
I mean, even now it can be challenging. Like,
Yeah.
it took me a while to beat that game. Like, Ocarina I can zip through, but Majora's Mask took a while.
I was gonna say I've heard like that even now Majora's Mask is still a hard game.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is you have 3 days, and if you mess up and you do something wrong, or for some reason you take too long to go through a temple, you have to start all over again. It's like it never happened.
That's some poopy buttholes.
It can be a little infuriating. Like, when my friend and I were playing through the Zelda games, we were playing Majora's Mask, and we were in the Stone Tower Temple, which is the last temple.
Yeah.
We got to the end of the temple, and we were short a key. But we were also on the 3rd day, so our only option was to restart the entire temple again because we missed a key somewhere and didn't have time to go back and find it.
You missed a bat?
Missed a key. It's not a keys. There's a difference.
Yeah, that's pretty infuriating.
I mean, that's the part of a game, though, like, to have a good challenge, but...
True.
I don't know. I still think that Ocarina is a little bit better, personally. Having played both of them.
What makes it better?
But a lot of people would disagree.
Well, for you personally, what makes it better?
I don't know. I just felt more involved in the story and in the world than I did in Majora's. Like, I don't know. Link's kind of like a side thought in Majora because he just appears there out of nowhere versus Ocarina. He's been there his whole life and people more treat him like he actually... What are you doing?
Hmm?
That's very distracting. You're tugging on your ear.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
I don't know, people treat him as an outsider because he is one, and I don't know. It's that even though the games are very similar, they have a very different feeling and play style, right? Because you're struggling to make it through 3 days, and there's so many mechanics involved, like, oh, I have to play this song to slow down time. Oh, I have to put my money here, otherwise I'm going to lose it all. Oh, I need to do this, and that every time I have to go back in time. So it can be a little bit more, feels more like it's chores than in Ocarina.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about it. Other people feel differently, and that's fine.
That's fair. I don't know. I feel like the quote-unquote chores aspect of games, some people appreciate.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
that's why games like Harvest Moon and like Stardew Valley are popular.
I mean, I really like Harvest Moon. That's a whole different thing.
But that's the issue, right? Is that Legend of Zelda is supposed to be a certain aesthetic. You're not supposed to be doing chores.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get why that would be frustrating to some people.
Well, and those games were remastered, which was good, but I don't know. To me, when people always think Zelda, that's the first place their mind jumps is either Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, which I get because Nintendo 64 was a very video game defining era.
Yeah.
It kind of, set the bar for everything that's out there now.
Yeah.
And it was very much a golden era, in my opinion. Very much a golden era of video games, in my opinion, and changed the way that video games were looked at. Like, I don't know.
I agree. I don't know. Maybe this is just me, but I feel like Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask are very similar in thematic sense, aesthetically wise.
Well, yeah, it's a lot more dark, sinister.
I don't know. That's why, like, I still really want to play Majora's Mask, and that's why when I got Twilight Princess, I loved it because it really stood out to me.
You can play Majora's Mask anytime you want. I've got it on Virtual Console.
I know. I'm just obsessed with Final Fantasy right now.
Fair enough.
But that's why I love Twilight Princess because, like, it was so different from the games that I had played. Because at that time, I had played Minish Cap, Phantom Hourglass, and let's see. There was another Game Boy Advance one I played. I don't remember which one it was.
Spirit Tracks.
No, Game Boy Advance. That's DS.
Game Boy Advance. Four Swords Adventures?
Maybe. I don't know. There was another one I played, but that I was...
It's hard. There's a lot of Zelda games. There's a lot. And I feel like we should touch on Wind Waker before we jump to
Oh, yes!
Twilight
And Wind Waker. That was one of the games I'd also played.
Wind Waker is one of the best.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Sure. So that was Toon Link's debut, from what I'm aware of. That was before Minish Cap.
Because Minish Cap technically isn't Toon Link. This is the Kid Link.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I've only played a little bit of Minish Cap. I've never played the whole thing.
No,
I do like the idea of Minish Cap though. It's pretty cool.
It's very fun.
It's a good I don't know. I would almost call it sort of a spin-off from the regular series because it's played quite differently.
That's fair, but like it's really big too, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So like I would definitely suggest you get it.
And I enjoy the sassy bird hat.
Oh, he's so sassy.
So sassy.
Did you play it?
I told you I played part of it, not the whole thing.
You should get an emulator.
I think I have the game that I can play on Game Boy Player.
See, I got that game from Pakistan, and for some reason, every game I ever got from Pakistan never could save.
Oh.
Like the option was there, but like every time I tried to save and then load up the game, it would be a new file.
Weird.
So then the project, then it became like a speedrun challenge basically for me. Like, how fast can I beat this entire game before, for whatever reason, I have to turn it off? Yeah, Minish Cap.
Oh, did you actually beat it?
Ever? I got close to the end.
Close to the end.
But then
you just leave it on.
Well, it's a Game Boy Advance. If it dies,
well, I had an SP, batteries. So I could just plug it in.
Yeah, see, I didn't have that. Yeah. I wanted one, but I was gonna say, I don't know. So like up till that point, except for Majora's Mask, all the games are super colorful, super bright, especially Wind Waker.
Well, Ocarina is a little less bright, but it's definitely brighter than Majora.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And like Wind Waker, first of all, I love that game.
Yeah.
For me, when I think of Legend of Zelda, I think of Wind Waker.
That's fair.
Yeah, and Toon Link is Wind Waker. It's Wind Waker, then it's Phantom Hourglass, then
and Spirit Tracks.
Is Spirit Tracks the same Link also?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't played Spirit Tracks yet.
Is really good. Spirit Tracks is like one of my favorites.
Do you have it?
No.
Fuck.
No. I'm sure I could find it at like a secondhand video game store on eBay, but
I really want to play it, but
as far as Wind Waker goes, the only thing that I didn't really like was the sailing, which I know is like the main point, but it just got boring sometimes.
Well, apparently in the remake they made the boat move a lot faster.
And they didn't really feel that way. I played.
Have the remake?
Yeah, I own the remake.
Well, I heard that they changed some things, like they made certain
scenes
shorter.
Collecting the Triforce pieces easier. That's what they did, which is good. So you need half as many maps and charts.
And I heard that like even minuscule things
because that was very tedious and like. I would never play the GameCube version again. Like I'm happy that they changed that in the Wii U version.
I heard that they also changed like small things like when you summon the wind, they made the scene shorter because
it is kind of long, but I don't know. It didn't really need an HD remake. It was just an excuse to delay Breath of the Wild. That's the only reason I wasn't really happy about it.
But at the same time, I like that they did it because it looks fucking amazing.
Well, and it was like a way to make money off a game they had already made, so why wouldn't they, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's a good game. It's fun to play. I don't know.
I don't know. The way I see it, for me personally, obviously you get money off it. But
I definitely feel very differently about it than, like, say, Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's a completely
even though it's
feeling.
the same game, quote unquote, like, even the way he moves is different.
Everything
so it feels like a completely different game. And it's really good. Like, same characters, different game. It's kind of an interesting thing to explore.
I don't know. I would even dare to say that every single Legend of Zelda game has a different feeling. To some extent.
I think Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess feel pretty close.
Oh, I don't think so at all.
You don't think so?
Twilight Princess feels very,
I feel like you're just a fanboy for Twilight Princess,
I am,
though,
but
which is okay.
No, of course, but I don't know. To me, it feels completely different.
Which was another game that did not need to be HD remade because it had already been HD remade from GameCube to Wii, which is... It's like, do it again for Wii U? Sure, why not?
At the same time, as someone who does like seeing, I don't know, if let's say if I released a game, obviously they're gonna get more money, of course. That's probably the main reason. But at the same time, it's nice to see something you made a long time ago revitalized.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, that's why like a lot of artists will redraw something they drew a long time ago because they want to see what their new skills are like.
Yeah, I think.
But obviously the main reason is money, but
yeah.
And delaying things, but at the same time, I like that they did it because I like seeing the difference. Mm-hmm. But, anyways, what was I saying?
Well, I think Wind Waker set a cool standard, and then, I don't know, Phantom Hourglass, I played through most of it, but I really wasn't a fan of the Temple of Time that you had to keep going down over and over and over again, running out of time.
I loved everything else about that game, but that was the...
I don't know, that was kind of a game killer for me. Like, at that point, I was like, I don't even want to do this anymore, because it's so frustrating.
The multiplayer is surprisingly fun in that game.
But Spirit Tracks did everything right, like... You get to drive a train. There's still a temple that you have to go revisit, but it's not timed like Phantom Hourglass. It's different, and it's cool because in that one, Zelda's like a spirit of herself because someone stole her body, so it's pretty cool because she'll follow you around and help you, and she can like possess things.
Yeah.
And she's like, ew, I don't like it, but it's really fun. It's just like, even though it like dark things are happening, it's a really lighthearted game, and I don't know, it's just really good.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. The reason I think I like Twilight Princess so much, and why I think it's different from Skyward Sword, is that, one, even the story, right? Like,
well, I just meant they played the same. I didn't think that they looked the same or anything like that.
I don't know. That's why I'm saying, like, I think every single Legend of Zelda game feels different in some way.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I won't disagree with that.
But I mean, like, playing-wise.
Yeah.
Like, because even, like, in Twilight Princess, there were certain combat mechanics that, like, I don't know, I mean, I guess it's a small one, but the only difference is, like, the sword thing. Skyward Sword, you have to actually aim the sword. Twilight Princess,
you still sort of aimed.
Sort of, but not, like, as much as, I don't know. I think Skyward Sword, the idea they're going for is cool, but it was really annoying.
It was really poorly executed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was annoying to do the sword thing.
It was.
It's an interesting thing. Like, I think it was a good idea. But...
I get what they were trying to do. It was trying to feel more immersive, but it ended up just feeling frustrating instead, which I don't know. I don't fault them for it, but it made the game hard to want to beat. I mean, we are playing through it on our YouTube channel.
Oh god.
Right now. Very slowly, but we are. It's tough because the first part of the game has so much dialogue. It's unbelievable. There's probably a good hour of just dialogue.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna like completely say dialogue is bad because all Legend of Zelda games have dialogue. Even like obviously my favorite game, even Twilight Princess has a lot of dialogue, but there's something about it that's different.
Yeah.
It draws you in more.
I do like the start of that game a lot.
But Skyward Sword's
which is like most of what I've seen of that game, the start. I don't think I've ever gotten much past meeting Zelda in Twilight Princess.
What?
Yeah.
No! Okay, we need to play that game. You are going to... No wonder you don't have that much of an opinion of it. You've only done the beginning.
I watched my brother play most of it, but I haven't really played it myself.
Good. It's you have to. You're gonna
Now
love
you're
it.
just like fanboy jizzing all over the game.
Okay, relax. But you have you no seriously, you would actually love it.
I'm sure I would.
Cause like oh my god, it's so good. Cause for once, I don't know what's called Legend of Zelda, but for once the main focus isn't Zelda.
It
It
never
breaks.
is.
Zelda's somehow
Would
related.
it be
in
called
most things.
Zelda Saves the World if it was that?
No, I mean like you're not saving Zelda, which I thought was an interesting breakaway. That's different
Yeah.
from what they usually do.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some games where, like, obviously, like Majora's Mask, where it wasn't about Zelda, but like, it was really interesting because they brought on this whole like underworld, not underworld, the dark zone or whatever kind of
Oh,
thing. and,
Midna
like,
kind of pisses me off too. I don't know. She's kind of annoying to me.
she's awesome later.
Okay, but for the good first portion of the game,
Yeah,
she's
which
really
is what,
annoying.
like,
Why are you
10
playing with your ear?
Which is what, like 10 minutes, 15
No.
minutes, at the beginning of the game.
Hours into the game, I still find her annoying.
Well, that's her
And
character.
the other thing I find tedious is collecting those teardrops.
That's one thing I will bash on them about.
Yeah.
Is that was really annoying.
That is a mechanic I did not enjoy. It's like, oh, you want to progress further? You better get these bug drops.
I enjoyed the mechanic because, like, story-wise, but, like,
Yeah.
actually grabbing the stuff was annoying.
Well, I felt like they were such a tease, too, because they gave you Epona, and then they, like, took her away right away. And then you get her back later, but it was still, like, really?
Well, I
It's
like it.
Normally you wait so long to have Epona, and then it feels good, and then in this game it's like, oh, you have Epona, and then it's like, ha, just kidding, bitch. And
Well,
then you're like, what?
Well, I like it. In my opinion, it's almost like...
But you, to be fair, you haven't played Ocarina or Majora, so you can't compare.
I guess that's fair, but I like that they do that, because to me it feels like they're trying to make you really appreciate the fact that, you know, having a horse to travel on is really nice.
The other thing I'm not really a fan of is, like, the other human, like, the character design in the game. Like, they just
Twilight Princess?
the way they look just wigs me out. Like, they're all very eccentric looking.
Yeah, I will say it's very stylistic. Like, each character has something about them that's very...
Uncomfortable.
I was going to say exaggerated upon, but yeah, I guess. Well, Skyward Sword has a very similar design. It's more cartoony.
Okay, but I was going to say
But-
that people are a little more normal in that game and not so, like, here's my tiny little eyebrows or my freaky giant head.
I get that, but at the same time, like, that's what I love about those newer games, because it's very stylistic,
Yeah.
and some people will bash on things being stylistic.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being stylistic. It's just a style that made me uncomfortable personally. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it was bad. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying it was weird
That's
to
funny.
me. That's it.
Whatever, you have to play the game, it's so good.
I mean, I will. I keep trying to make it through it, and I just can't. It's the same with Skyward Sword. Like, I keep trying to make it through that game, and I
Don't you
just
dare
can't.
say it's the same.
I get to the Kikwees. You remember those guys? Little Kikwees?
The furthest I got in Skyward Sword was like the time travel place.
Oh,
With, like,
man.
the
That place
mine
is
carts.
so infuriating. I think that's where most people quit that game
Yeah.
because it's so frustrating.
Because, like, you beat one temple, it's like, cool. And
It's
then
like,
it goes,
oh, you're in
and
the
it's
past. Oh, you're in the
literally-
present.
It's not even that. The issue for me is that usually Legend of Zelda's usual mechanic is you beat a dungeon, you get some downtime, you explore the area, then you
Yeah.
find another dungeon.
But you have to
Skyward Sword-
explore a huge area just
Yeah,
to get to
which
the
is fine.
temple.
Skyward Sword really bothered me because, at least that part did, because you do the temple, and then immediately after there's another temple. There's like not
Well,
much
it's
time
not a
to like.
temple. That
Okay,
time area
technically-
is you just
Okay.
traversing to get to the temple. That's why it's frustrating.
Technically, it's not. No, I'm after that. There's another temple.
That's how you get to the fire temple. You're traversing through that time area. That's not a temple. That's just you trying to get to the temple.
No, there's a point where it's literally it's
Yeah,
not called the temple.
That's getting to the
but it
fire
is a
temple.
temple. Like it even has a boss key and everything.
No, all that time travel stuff does not have that.
There's a point after time travel stuff
Yeah, you
and
go to
before
the fire temple.
temple
No.
where you go into like a factory thing.
There's no boss there.
Okay, well, it felt annoying. I don't know. To me, it felt like
Like I said, that's where most people quit the game because
Yeah.
it's frustrating and it's not fun. There's no part of that to me that's fun.
I think it's fine to have like hard parts.
If you get to a point though where it feels tedious and you're like, I just want to get past this part in a game, I think you've kind of failed a little bit doing your job as a video game designer. If someone's like, I don't really want to do this, and it's their first time playing, it's like,
But at the same time, some people would argue that like that's also what makes you appreciate the better parts of the game.
Okay, there should be a balance. I understand it being a little frustrating or a little tedious, but if it's tedious enough that you're saying, I don't want to do this,
Mm-hmm.
that's too far.
I mean,
if a lot of people quit at that point, it shows it's not good.
I just want you to know I'm not questioning you to bother you. I'm questioning you for the sake of the
I
conversation.
understand what you mean.
Yeah.
And I get it. Yes, there should be some.
I don't mean anything. I'm just saying, like, just for the sake of the conversation.
There should be some tedious parts in games. That's natural, but to the point where you stop playing, that's something that needs to be looked at and not done ever again.
I mean, we can't. I mean, when people like get upset because they don't want to get up off the sofa and go make themselves mac and cheese because it's tedious and they don't want to do it, that doesn't mean you yell at the universe for like
for making mac and cheese too difficult to make,
like walking across the living room being too difficult. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Because like, there's some game. I mean, look at Bloodborne and Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to grind.
No.
It's tedious, but you do it and you still appreciate
in
the
Bloodborne, I actually really don't mind grinding, but that's probably just because I'm such a fanboy of the game.
Well, I think
I could play it for hours.
Obviously,
and not get
the
bored.
big difference between Bloodborne and Legend of Zelda is that Legend of Zelda, you're doing puzzles. Bloodborne, you're doing an actual active thing. Like, you're always like action. Like, it's action based.
Action packed.
Okay, stop.
You don't like it when I say action packed.
You sound like a movie person trailer.
Oh yeah, Macho Madness.
I don't know. Twilight Princess is very dark.
We're just gonna keep talking about Twilight Princess.
I just want to make my point.
You did. You already said it's dark. You already said you like the underworld aspect to her, aspect to it.
I love Midna. I think she's a very interesting character because, like,
if you're going to say any spoilers, you should warn that right now.
I'm not.
Okay.
Midna is just cool because it takes the idea of, like, a Navi or a Tetra or whatever.
And makes it just as annoying, just in a different way.
Yeah, well, because it's the same sassiness as the Minish Cap.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, exactly the same.
It's not the exact same.
It's very similar.
Similar, not the same.
And I like their relationship. That's like something between like annoyance and like being forced to work together.
Yeah.
Which is not something you really see in Legend of Zelda, and that's a very real relationship that a lot of people have to experience at some point in their life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that was really interesting because in the beginning they kind of grow to detest each other, but they grow to actually like have fun together and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting.
Things change over time.
Yeah, I heard.
But I mean, that's a pretty natural story progression. It's not anything that hasn't been explored before.
Fair, but Legend of Zelda's never done it before.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I guess you could say Minish
in Majora's Mask you could because, Tattle, or is it Tail? One of them travels with you and doesn't want to be traveling with you at first, but, they grow to have a good relationship.
I heard Breath of the Wild, you don't have any companions, it's just you.
That would be nice. Anything's better than what's-her-face in Skyward Sword.
Yeah. Well, apparently...
What's her name?
Navi?
Fee?
Oh, Fee. Fi.
Fee
Fi Fo Fum.
Fee Fi Fo Fum, yeah. I don't know. She's really annoying because you can't stop her from coming out of that sword. At least with Navi, you could just ignore her.
Yeah.
With Fee, it's like, just kidding, I'm coming out whether you like it or not. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do.
Well, apparently, if you have
Don't hold my hand.
Well, apparently, if you have the Twilight Princess HD remake, whatever the fuck, if you have the amiibo of the wolf, apparently, if you use the amiibo in the new game, you get the actual wolf, and he like hunts with you as like a companion, which is kind of dope.
Which new game? Oh, Breath of the Wild. I thought you meant in like the remake of Twilight Princess. I was like, you are the wolf.
Apparently, if you have the amiibo, that Link wolf will come into the game and like hunt with you as like a pet almost, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
I don't know.
We still haven't touched on the last game that we should before we talk about Breath of the Wild, and that's Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds or Link Between the Past?
Link Between Worlds. Link to the Past is what it's based
related.
on. A Link to the Past is old. A Link Between Worlds is like
the sequel.
You just smell your hand.
Sometimes I like rub my neck and just make sure I don't smell weird. I don't know. I don't want to smell bad, so just double check every now and then.
On your neck of all places, how about you rub it in your ass crack?
Oh god.
Then you'll know if you smell bad or not.
What the fuck?
You asked for it.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
you just said that. I was just talking about my neck. You're the one who went to butts.
Whoa, those levels.
Anyways,
I
got like halfway. 3DS. I got halfway through the game.
What? I beat the shit out of that game. It was so fun. That's probably actually my favorite Zelda game.
Really?
A Link Between Worlds.
What about it makes you your favorite?
What about it? I don't know, just the way it played. Like, it was always interesting and fun, and every time you got a new item, there was something different. And the dungeons never got stale to me.
Yeah.
Because each one, it was like, okay, you have to do something completely different. And yeah, I know that's sort of the case in every Zelda game, but I feel like this one just perfected at that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. There was something that was always enthralling and interesting about A Link Between Worlds, and I never got bored of playing it. That's the first one in a long time that I beat all the way through without feeling like I was obligated or that I was struggling to beat it.
Yeah.
So,
that's
it's definitely my favorite.
When I did play it, I got like halfway through. When I did play it, I never felt like... It was a good in the middle. Like, I never felt like it was too easy, and I never felt like it was...
Too hard.
I felt like it was a good, like, pleasurable...
Difficulty?
Yeah, in the middle.
Yeah, definitely. And,
like, the puzzles, like, weren't, like, so hard that, like, I would start crying, but, like, it also wasn't so easy that I found out immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, you found it out within a relative amount of
There were some
research.
parts that you could get stuck for a while, but never to the point where it was like, okay, I need to shut off the game now because I can't figure it out.
Usually, it's something you can figure out if you just explore a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, like the colors in that game, the music.
Yeah, I do love the colors. They're very,
exploration.
very vibrant.
Very vibrant. But I mean, it has to do with paintings and stuff like that, so I get it.
Yeah.
And just being able to go between, you know, two different versions of the world whenever you want is very interesting. And I don't know, it just adds interest to, like, okay, I've already been to this area, but I haven't been to this area in the other world.
Yeah.
So let's see how it's different.
Be there,
and, yeah. I don't know, it just adds a lot more interest and, like, a whole new dynamic to a game.
Yeah.
Because I think without the flitting in between worlds, maybe it would have been boring. Like, if you were just going to the past or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, time travel and dimension travel seems to be a very big thing in Legend of Zelda.
Well, really, like, time travel. Dimension has only been happened, like, what, a few times?
Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess. Okay, those evil things come from another dimension, and you're in a different dimension when you're the wolf.
Yeah, fair.
And
no, it's the same dimension.
Link Between Worlds.
It's just being altered.
Well, okay, anyway. There are at least 3 or 4 games.
No, I get what you're saying.
Where there's dimension travel.
Yeah, time travel is definitely more of a thing, though. Like, it's very, very,
I think
very
it's
common.
equal.
It's very common in, like, almost all the games that have time travel at some point.
Yeah. Which is interesting. I wonder why they find that, like, such a big connection with Zelda games. Like, why is that something that they keep coming back to and focusing on? And will that be an element in the new game?
Definitely.
You think so?
In every game that they've had that in, it's always been an interesting concept the way they applied it.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. No one's ever complained about a time-related segment of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good part to have. My question is, I don't know how it's going to fit in with the feeling of the new one, because the new one is definitely more, like, Witcher-esque, in the sense that
it's more realistic, more like, okay, I'm actually going to make food, I'm going to survive, I'm going to camp out, that kind of stuff.
From what I've seen, it feels a lot like The Witcher 3, where you have to travel, you have to make yourself food, you have to hunt. You can even
in very open world, you can approach different sections of the world however you want, rather than it being, like, bottleneck, for instance.
And you can even, like, have you seen any of the recent stuff?
No.
Apparently you can even get, like, different armor, like, different segments, like
shoulder,
whatever. And
I've seen you can snowboard.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that in Twilight Princess, but...
Oh, I didn't know
that. You can actually climb rocks and stuff now, and, like, cliffs, which is interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and, you don't have to use a sword. You can, like, pick up different weapons and actually keep them. You don't have to...
Yeah, you don't have to give them up.
Like, throw it away or whatever. And you can interact with the environment. So, like, if there's a big boulder on a hill, you can push that down.
And things will be different from that.
You can even, if you have, I don't know about a Molotov, but if you have some kind of fire weapon...
I was going to say, probably not a Molotov cocktail.
You can light, like, long grass on fire, and it'll burn the whole field.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that can kill enemies, too. But obviously it can hurt you, too. But,
it's factored in.
Like I said, there's so many things. Like I said, from what I've seen, the game feels like a Legend of Zelda version of The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Like, so many levels, so many things to interact with in the world. And that's only just the open world. We haven't even seen, like, the towns or the people or how conversations are going to be. And, like, we haven't even seen, like, the special, like, enchanted part of the game, right? We've only seen, like, the survival function,
The
really.
basics, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't
And
want
it
to
already
reveal
looks
too much.
cool. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, but I'm saying from what we know, it already looks amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, they've delayed it enough times that now it better be good. Like,
I mean,
I'd rather them delay it and it be a good game, though, than
I was gonna
them
say,
rush it. Like, we don't need a Sonic 06.
I was gonna
Or
say
a Sonic
same thing
Boom.
with like Kingdom Hearts 3 and when Final Fantasy 15 finally came
Yeah.
out. Yeah, it was a little bit annoying.
Well, wasn't Final Fantasy something like a 7-year wait?
Yeah,
That's a long time.
that's fine. Honestly,
Is it?
yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but like, I'm extremely happy with the results.
That's good.
If a game is delayed, I know everyone gets so upset, and like I guess that's fair, but for me, it's like, I don't know, I'm okay with that because I know that the game, there's a reason they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's not Sonic, like they don't want to release a shitty game. Like who would want to do that?
Yeah. I mean,
Like no one in their right mind would actually want
looking at
to
you,
release a shitty game.
Sega.
Yeah. Or even DICE, right? Like Battlefield has always been a solid game, but literally every one they've released, it started out shitty, like it had glitches and stuff,
Yeah.
and it
They
got
had to
fixed
fix
later.
it later.
Instead of
That's not ideal.
like Battlefield 2 was good.
The problem is people buying into that and just letting it
Well,
continue
because
to happen.
the thing is, everyone complains, but you can't boycott a game. I mean, you can,
you
but
can,
no one's
but no
actually
one
going to do it.
did, which is silly.
Like, because, which I get, like when I bought Fallout 4,
yeah.
because it's Fallout 4, I bought it because I love the Fallout
It's
series.
Yeah.
But it had a lot of glitches until they fixed it.
Mhm.
Same thing, like in my opinion, Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 are great. Great
Mhm.
games if you like shooters, very
Mhm.
realistic. It's fun. But they had a lot of issues that weren't fixed until later.
Yeah.
But then this new game they released, Battlefield 1, very good, almost no glitches. And do you know why?
Why?
Because they took time making
they
it.
Waited
They waited
of
to release it
rushing
instead of releasing it for Christmas.
No one. Yeah. I don't
Every
know.
game, Battlefield 3 and 4, both got rushed because of Christmas. They
That's the thing. Like, games don't need to come out around Christmas.
yeah, like you can wait like a hot sec. It's not going to be a big deal.
If anything, that's like one of the worst times to release games because like not everyone will buy people games as a gift for Christmas. So anyone who does want to buy a game for themselves won't be buying it around Christmas.
Well, that
so it's
doesn't
like there's a toss up.
that doesn't really matter. That depends on your personal
Life.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because especially nowadays, a lot of kids play video games, so I feel like that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, things have changed.
But I will say that holidays put a really bad time limit on game design.
I mean, it creates a constraint on a lot of things, which it shouldn't.
Well, and in retrospect, at least with Battlefield, with those games, they weren't doing a Sonic 06. I understand why they did it.
Doesn't
because,
mean it made it right, but
right, they fixed it later, which is great, but
they shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be purchasing a game that's not
and they shouldn't.
finished.
And part of it is they shouldn't feel like they should be rushed. They should take their time.
Well, a better game,
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone felt rushed making anything. Like, imagine, you had 10 minutes to make a dinner that took 30 minutes. It's not going to taste nearly as good
Exactly.
because you feel rushed.
Exactly.
And you don't have the time to take the care and effort to do things exactly right. So
Yeah.
it's the same with anything. Like, can you imagine drawing something? Like, you're given 2 minutes to draw, like an entire mural. Like, it won't look good.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah. Well, it seems like going into 2016, 2017, a lot of game companies are doing a better job of that.
Yeah.
They're actually taking their time in releasing the game, and then they don't have to release many updates to fix it afterwards.
Could be part of why games are more expensive now, too.
Yeah, that could be a secret,
Because
we
we're
fixed
taking longer
everything
to make these games, so we need to get paid
Which,
more for them.
I guess is fair.
But games are so expensive. Now it's starting to become unaffordable, and I feel
Well, the prices have been the same for the last 10 years, though.
Sort of. But I feel bad for anyone in Europe or Australia because they pay a hell of a lot more than we do. In Canada, we pay $10 more than the States automatically, and they say that's a shipping fee, which is bull.
Yeah. In the States, we just pay the regular amount.
In the States, you probably pay the least out of everyone in the entire
you'll have to remember
world.
that currency is different as well.
Everyone
It
caters
ends up-
to the States, I know.
No, I'm not saying that. Currency-wise, it ends up being about the same.
No,
'Cause
because your
well-
dollar is worth more, and we actually pay more.
Is it? Because in America, a PS4 game would be $60.
Okay, they're $80 here.
So what's the conversion rate?
You know the American dollar is worth more than the Canadian dollar, right? So that's even worse.
Never mind.
We're paying a hell of a lot more for games than you are.
Oh, ants.
Some new games are even $90 for like PS4 and Xbox
What?
One. Yeah.
That's never happened in America. What the fuck?
Yeah. Some, like when Bloodborne was brand new, it was $90.
Jesus.
Yeah. I don't know. $80 is pushing it for me. 65, 70, okay, fine. It's like 60 I was happy with, but I don't know. Even pushing 75, I'm like, this is kind of like, I can appreciate that Wii U kept themselves at 75 when everyone else was at 80, 90.
That's why I'll always buy games from America. It's a little bit cheaper for me.
Things are just, I don't know. Game consoles should be made to be affordable because you think about your market. Like, you've got a lot of young teenagers, a lot of, young people moving out on their own for the first time. If you can't make your games affordable to your market, you're going to start losing sales.
But that's not their market. Their market is anyone and everyone. It shouldn't be confined to children.
Okay, but I'm saying that's the biggest market.
Yeah.
That's their biggest market is teens and young adults.
Yeah.
Whoa. Is the couch going to break?
I think you just dropped your phone.
No.
Oh,
It's right here. Shit. Anyway. Think about it. You want to make games more. If you make games more affordable, more people would buy them, and I think that's what Nintendo's trying to approach.
I mean, that's just common business, though. Like, everyone should know that.
But Nintendo's trying to make the Switch more affordable so that more people can buy it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because think about when PS4 first came out, it was like up to $500 to get one.
Yeah.
That's
$600.
It's really expensive. Who can justify spending that? Like, I didn't buy a PS4 when it first came out because I was like, there's no way I can afford that.
Yeah, same.
I can't justify spending $1,000 on a console. Like, because it's going to be obsolete within 4 years anyways, at this point, at the rate that they're going.
Well, that's debatable, because some people still play N64 and stuff, right?
Well, you know what I mean. They'll stop making games for it, so at that point it's like, okay, what you've bought is now... we're not making games for this. You have to buy it. You have to spend another $500 to get new games.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just think it's very important for them to try and find a balance with this.
Yeah.
But I trust that the Switch will be priced competitively, and that Breath of the Wild will be good whether it's on Wii U or Switch.
Yeah.
I think it'll be amazing either
definitely,
way.
Definitely.
And I'm glad that they're putting it on both.
Yeah,
because that way people who can't buy a Switch right away can still get the game and still appreciate a game that they've been waiting for a really long time.
Yeah,
because we've all been waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Wii U barely got any IPs. Like, think about it. There was no main Mario game. There was no Zelda
IPs?
game. Important character. I don't remember what IPs is, but... Important poop.
Let's just say exclusive.
Wii U was very disappointing as far as game releases went. Like, that's not to say there aren't really good games for it, but you can tell that their focus was elsewhere. You can tell that they were focused on the Switch the entire time.
Yeah.
And the Switch was what they really wanted to release when they were thinking about Wii U.
But at the same time, that makes me really excited for the Switch.
Yeah. But then, anyone who has a Wii U is kind of like, well, I mean, that was kind of down the toilet. Like, I
don't know. I feel like...
they could have milked the Wii for another few years and then brought out the Switch and... Sorry, it would be more satisfying.
I don't know. I feel like the Wii U... Yeah, they had less, but I still feel like it's still worth getting.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least it was at the time. Obviously, maybe not now, but like...
Maybe not now, yeah.
There's still great games on there. Oh.
For sure.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us on our podcast that turned from talking about Zelda to game design business.
I mean, hey, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. Well...
We don't talk about what we don't talk about.
You're so lame.
Thanks. I know.
Anyways, thanks for joining us. As you said earlier in the show, like, feel free...
let us know
to follow our...
too, what you think about Zelda and what you think about the new game.
I have a whole schedule of things to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. If you told me.
Obviously, if you get a chance, follow us on our YouTube channel or follow us on Twitter. Eventually, like I said, I'm going to try and start publishing these on iTunes, but it's a process I still have to look into. But, like Sarah said, if you want to let us know any more ideas or anything else you'd like to hear us talk about, or if you just want to let us know how we're doing, or just tell us how you're doing, tweet at us, at Steep Talk.
Yeah.
On Twitter. And Hell, if you
You
guys
wanted
want,
to say Steep Play again?
if
I
you
mean,
guys,
you can tweet us there too if you really want.
yeah, I mean, you guys can send us emails too if you ever want at steepedtalk@gmail.com. If you guys ever want to
That's the part
email
where
us
you're trying to
anything.
remember something simple off the top of your head and it's just not
I was
coming
just trying to
to
make
you.
sure that I didn't like add anything else.
That's fair.
Like a 0 or something at the end of it.
Because of habit, yeah. It's Steep Talk 0 at gmail.com.
I do that with everything now.
Yeah.
If you
My
want to
name
follow,
is Horace Zero.
shut up. If you guys, I would never do that. Come on. If you guys want to follow our personal Twitters, you can find me at Hysterio0, which is HYSCERIO0, and Sarah, you can find her at.
Like how you just do that. It's like you could say it
I
for
don't
me, or
want
I'll
to.
just completely say it.
Just say it.
It's Sarah Runny, SarahRunnie. That's it.
That's your Twitter handle.
Yeah, I know, right? Just my name. How original.
I mean, that's awesome.
Is
Yeah,
it?
but we're not verified yet. Hashtag trying to, but
Hashtag verify me, please.
hashtag verify me. But yeah, follow us there, and if you guys have any questions, let us know. And we'll see you in the next episode, guys. God damn it.
God damn it.